Unfuck.
Well, hello, and welcome to Coast. It's a new day. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
I'm Auntie Collins, a little under the weather again. This is JPJ. We are celebrating your birthday
Yes,
today.
we're celebrating. Yes, yesterday was the official. Me, the great Cresta star, Fightful Zone Cresta.
What an unbeatable combination right
Right,
there.
and then we also share with David Beckham. You know David Beckham of soccer lore,
I think I've heard
and
of
then
him.
we also share with Dwayne the Rock Johnson. That's right.
Wow. That's
But
an
it's quite the Mount
iconic.
Rushmore. It's quite the Mount
Yeah.
Rushmore of May 2nd birthdays, I would say.
See, August 19th doesn't have that kind of star power anymore.
Have you ever googled? Have you ever googled it? Have you ever googled?
Yeah, I've googled it. It's Bill Clinton
Yeah,
and Matthew Perry.
Oh, R.I.P. R.I.P.
The wrestler is someone that we should not talk about or name.
Fair enough. I can understand probably who that is. Scott in the chat is saying Big Boss Man as well yesterday. I was a big fan. I liked the Big Boss Man when I was younger. Had a crazy long career, that guy.
AC, JPJ, puffing off that heat.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Lots of things happened this week. Apologies, guys. Like, I have a sinus infection from all of this pollen that makes me sound so cool. I was fully planning on having a Boston accent the entire show.
Hell yeah. That would have been fun. That would have been fun. That would have been fun. Day. Yeah, but it was good. Yesterday had plans all day, had some friends coming from all directions. We went a little brewery hopping, had a good time throughout the day, watched the Kentucky Derby. Love the Kentucky Derby. So we did that. We did that dance and all that. But in right smack in the beginning of the day, as you know, we're getting ready to go to our first establishment, turn on Twitter, and the news of the day struck. You said it at the beginning about the new day and all that stuff. And I was like, well, and then the first couple hours of the birthday friendship thing was just us talking about how crazy that was. And then we just kind of went from there.
Definitely lifers for me, thinking that Xavier Woods and Kofi, especially Kofi,
for sure,
being lifers for WWE. So, how's everything outside of wrestling? How's your baseball team doing?
They're trash. My baseball team's trash, and in the last 48 hours, I witnessed the Boston Bruins get eliminated and the Boston Celtics choke away a 3-1 lead and get eliminated. Both at home, in the Garden, like the dogs they are.
Mm-hmm.
Bruins have always been frauds, so I don't care about that. I mean, I care that they got eliminated, but they were technically the underdogs, so it is what it is. Congratulations to Buffalo. The Celtics last night, an absolute choke job. Had no business losing that series to the 76ers, and I think that the head coach's job should be in question. That's how I feel.
Wow.
He's gonna win Coach of the Year this year, probably because they exceeded expectations and were a 2 seed because they did not have Jason Tatum all year. He's gonna win Coach of the Year, and I don't care. He should win Coach of the Year, and then his ass should get fired. Because this is the second year in a row we've been the, without question, best team, and all we do is shoot threes. And even though we missed 30 of them, we just don't stop shooting threes. Wow. And that's how we lost last year. That's how we lost this year. He should lose his job. Thank you, Lawrence. I appreciate you with the happy birthday.
It's very reminiscent of Ultimate Warrior, how the Ultimate Warrior asked for the proper payout, and they said, okay, sure, we'll pay you out for SummerSlam, and then fired. So I have nothing to say about Mariners baseball right now. So
yeah, listen.
Whatever our team's doing, I don't know.
I think you guys are okay. I think you guys are okay.
But we were losing to the Royals.
Royals are all right, though. They made the playoffs last year. Royals are okay. They're an all right team.
I don't think that they are.
Mariners should be better than them.
Up to be.
Yeah,
correct.
The Mariners should be better than them. Yeah. Well, it's because your pitching staff, which is the strength of your team, they're
giving away 11 runs to the Twins.
Yeah, they're very up and down. Yeah, see, the Twins stink. So your pitching staff has been very up and down this year, and that's really, you need them to be on point for you guys to be as good as you should be, because that is the strength.
It's just very frustrating watching the team that had such the promise going into the World Series, just stinking it up when it matters. But then so not last week, but the week before, they were playing the Athletics, and it was like the A's are a good team, having that 5 runs here, 4 runs here, it's 8 runs here, 7 runs here, having an actual game.
Mm-hmm.
And being okay, this is competition. This is how it should be. But then fucking losing to the Minnesota Twins, mm-hmm. and then in the losing efforts to the Royals.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. Again, listen, it just turned May. It's still technically a young season in Major League Baseball. There's a long ways to go. But yeah, you got to get back. If you're not back on yes. Sorry, go ahead.
I was about to ask, when in the season is it Last Chance Saloon? Is that All-Star game?
No, I think that's too late.
That's too late.
Listen, there's been teams in the past that have gotten ridiculously hot. Like in 2007 when the Red Sox won the World Series, the Colorado Rockies were not even in the playoffs when September started, and they won 18 games in a row and snuck into the wild card and made it to the World Series. So crazy things can happen, crazy things like that can happen. I feel like if you don't have your shit together by end of May, beginning of June, you really need to decide what you're going to do for the rest. If you're not, it's okay to not be winning every game. There's a lot of games, but if you're not playing well, if you're still not playing well come the beginning of June, I feel like that's where you need to sit down as a front office and be okay, do we still think we have a chance to win this year if we maybe add people at the deadline, or should we be thinking about getting rid of people and calling this a season? I feel like June is really.
Well, see, this is the thing, Scott, is that the Mariners starting pitcher, it's not that they aren't talented. It's not that they are pitching games that are really great in their own regard, but still losing 3-2.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. It's not great.
So sorry. I should mute my mic when I cough. Sorry, guys. I don't know. Sports is disappointing to me. I was watching hockey, and then I don't know. When you don't have a skin in the game, it's kind of hard to watch. It's just that I'm waiting for everybody else. I'm cheering everyone else. Yay, I'm so happy.
And it's my thing is I don't care about any other teams besides Boston teams. I don't care at all. Most other teams besides Boston teams, I hate. Sports hate. But I just why so moving forward, I saw some people are oh, it stinks about the Celtics, but I'm going to be rooting for the 76ers to beat the Knicks. And I'm why would you be rooting for either of those teams? They both suck. Why are you rooting for anybody? You shouldn't be rooting for anybody. Your team is out. So you shouldn't be rooting for, So it's one of those things to me where I love basketball, I like hockey, but now that my teams are out, basketball, I'll pay attention more to the playoffs moving forward than other. But I don't care about anything that happens in any of those leagues. I don't care who wins. I don't care who wins the champion. I literally don't care anymore because my teams are no longer involved. So, it just takes a lot out of it for me, and then it'd be one thing if normally I'd be all right, well, we have a summer of the Red Sox at least to watch. And technically I do, but they're a train wreck and an embarrassment. So I'm just okay, well, So I have no sports that matter until August when the Patriots start practicing again. And on that's a whole nother thing with my head coach and overblown the story, but my head coach and everything that's going on there. The 2-day story that's lasted a month and a half for some reason. But anyway, I digress. Listen, we had a good run of 20 years. It's okay to have. Now it's our turn to eat the shit. It's our turn to eat shit for a little bit. It's fine. It happens. And then there we go.
Do you know what happened last night?
On what?
Or this morning, rather.
This morning? No, I don't. I don't think so.
The new IWGP Global Heavyweight Champion is Andrade.
Oh, he beat the young guy. He beat the young stud there?
Yep. Yota Tsuji.
Yeah.
Technically today, it literally happened last night, like hours ago. So
Andrade, good for him.
I have that on my docket to watch today while I do some packing. But yeah, crazy business.
Is he gonna be carrying the belt on Wednesday night?
I hope so, because hello, real Latino man. Holy shit! How you know?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Yeah. The real Latino man. Wow. All right. Well, good for him. Good for him.
It's a really cool looking belt. Like when you zoom into it and with the global championship belt, like the little intricacies, like I'm looking at it right now over here on the screen. It's just a really cool ass belt. But Andrade really really pulling forward to be that main event guy.
Yeah. As he should be. And
I definitely agree, Jordan. Tsuji is definitely bound for a comeback. He is who they're going to be, have as their New Japan final boss, so to speak. So, Don Callis is going to be elated.
I'm sure he might be.
Guys, remember, please send in your super chats. We can read everything that no spoils. Sorry, I spoiled it. It was on the internet.
Is it a spoiler if it already happened? It already aired, right?
Yeah.
So I'm an East Coast guy like Scott, so I get it. Like it was in the wee hours of the morning, so I wasn't watching either. But that type of stuff, I feel a lot differently about spoilers when it comes to live sports and live events like that than I do about if a new TV show was on last night and somebody goes and spoils it an hour after the TV show is, I think you're a terrible person. But a live sporting event, a live thing like that is what it is. I don't think you can get angry about things being spoiled when it comes to that.
Well, lots of other things happening in the WrestleSphere. So last week, I do want to shout out, y'all made our video or our last show pop the hell off. And I want to thank each and every one of you who are watching, who shared it, liked it, commented. Oh my God. That is the most watched video for our podcast, for sure. And we are only 13 episodes strong, so I really appreciate you all tuning in and participating, because we really couldn't do any of this without y'all. So, but needless to say, lots more things have happened this week. I was listening to Between Two Beards this week, and y'all were talking about all of the debuts in NXT. How many people debuted in NXT?
6, I believe. 3 of them were Evolve people, but if you pay attention to that, I counted them as a debut. I didn't know who they were, but
sure.
But Evil, they didn't call him that. I'm sure he will get a WWE name at some point. But he showed up. Will Cruz, I think he goes. It's spelled Kroos, so I don't know if it's Cruz, but Will Cruz showed up. He attacked Tony D'Angelo. So he was there. We had the in-ring debut of Lizzie, the British rocker. She's
She
the
looks so
niece.
cool.
Yeah, she's the niece of the drummer of Iron Maiden. So she had her debut match against Nikita Lyons. And her finishing move is getting a lot of press on social media. That thunderstruck, like that pop-up. She said it was like a pop-up shining wizard, like a pop-up knee. Looks very, very
so cool.
Yeah. Cam Hendricks was one of the Evolve guys. Tate Wilder was another one. And there was one more that I'm drawing a blank on his name. But yeah, there were 6 debuts on NXT, and then we saw Ricky Saints made his debut on SmackDown.
It is so hard to not say Ricky Starks.
I almost say it every time. We saw last week, obviously, Ethan Page and Sol Ruca were on Raw. JC Jane, who debuted last week with all of Fatal Influence, which was a shock. I thought JC would be coming up. The whole group came up. JC Jane beat Charlotte on Friday night in her first match on the main roster. Beat Charlotte. Impressive. Yeah, so, we talked about last week, we talked about the big list of names that were released the Friday before our show. Crazy list, 24 names in total. We went into detail about that last week. And then we saw all these new debuts on NXT, some more debuts on Raw and SmackDown. So it felt like the last week and a half has been a big transition week in WWE. A lot of names, unfortunately, leaving the company, and then a lot of fresh faces on our TV screens on all levels. Yeah, so that felt pretty cool. Like, not obviously the releases aren't cool, but like the fresh faces and the new people on the main roster and in NXT, it feels fresh, it feels new. And then obviously we got the news that they weren't done with the releases. I'm sure we'll talk about more in depth in a little bit, but yeah. So we did talk about that on Beards, just a ton of new. But you got to think, in the last couple months, NXT has lost Obafemi, Trick Williams, Javon Evans, Ethan Page, Joe Hendry, Ricky Saints, Sol Ruca, Fatal Influence. Like, they've lost basically their whole main people.
Yeah.
So they needed a bunch of new, fresh faces on their show, and they introduced a whole lot of them on Tuesday. A whole lot of them. So you still got the people like Zarya still down there, Kalani Jordan still down there. The men still have Tony D. They still have Tavion Heights and a few others, Miles Bourne and things like that. Blake Monroe is also up on SmackDown now. So like they've lost a ton of people. So they needed a jolt of fresh meat, fresh people, and they did it on Tuesday. So,
well, I mean, I did make that comment about how it was very strange to me that the first few names that they were releasing were women, and seeing the women that they are bringing up to the main roster makes me have a little shred of hope that we'll get something new and possibly another Evolution pay-per-view or PLE, sorry. Because there are a lot of great talent that they've been putting money into. But you know what they haven't been wanting to put money into? Vignettes. They're JPJ.
Well, they put money into it, but just different kind of money with that AI garbage they gave us on NXT.
So this week on Tuesday, I made a very opinionated post. I think a lot of people share the same opinion that Tuesday there was a vignette of Zarya, what looks maybe appears to be Sol Ruca's head, and then the seas are parting and she's coming. I agree that it looks like they are building the entire company around Zarya, as they should. She is very talented. But it's the fact of they used AI to make a video. They knew that this storyline was happening for weeks. That was going to conclude months. And yet they didn't have time to shoot anything with a green screen or pay actual artists. And they had to heavily rely on AI. And those who defend AI, I do not give a shit what you think. we need to evolve with the times. Absolutely not. You need to pay artists what they're worth, because what you're asking for is something an artist could do better than AI, because AI is just using information, and technically that looked like Zarya, and technically it looked like Solruka.
I don't even think technically it looked like Solruka. That looked like
It
nothing like
just looked like generic blonde lady
Yes.
with curls.
Yeah.
But she looked white.
White lady with blonde hair.
White lady.
Yeah.
And for those who know, Solruka is not like, she's mixed. So it's just, there was no character, there was no depth, there was no art, there was no life into the vignette. And I do not think that WWE should set the precedence that they should be using AI going forward. I think that it is bad PR as well, because how shitty that you're, I mentioned it was like a promo package, but people quick to tell me it's only a vignette video. It's not any, shut up. I don't care. Any sort of, this is a package of promotion, a vignette that you are giving those who maybe haven't seen Zarya on that kind of level, and you're saying this is our star. How shitty that she's tied to AI, you know?
Yeah. Like, it's $1 billion company. You don't need to do that. It's, for all the things that WWE has, we've been frustrated about for a decade, the booking, all this stuff, blah, 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 blah. Now it's the ad, whatever. One thing that I've always thought was pretty undeniable was they were the best, the absolute best when it came to video packages, vignettes, whatever. The people that made those, the people that made those hype videos, those promo packages, they were the best. That was the best thing they did as a company, was make those videos. Think about all the iconic ones we still talk about. WrestleMania 17, Rock and Austin with we still talk about those on a yearly basis. You still see them on social media because they were so good. And you see that on Tuesday night. And it was the Solruka thing for me when I saw the face that they wanted. And I was like, who is that? I was like, I go, what is this? And that's what really triggered, because I didn't even notice it was really AI or even thought it was AI until that close-up of Solruka, when they started, like, the sea kind of took her face started to crumble or whatever they did.
Yeah.
And I was like, was that supposed? And I openly, like, out loud to myself, sitting at it, was like, was that supposed to be Solruka? And then I started, like, I rewatched it, and I was like, this whole thing is AI crap. And I was like, you're $1 billion company, dude, and you're charging your tickets out of the ass. You're telling us every week about your biggest gates and your biggest profits and all this stuff, and you can't. What are you saving pennies on your fucking production team now too? Like, what are we doing? It's a joke.
Yeah, I think it is a bad look to be like, hey guys, we're doing record profits, we're doing all of these things that we've never done before, but unfortunately we do not respect your art, which the art of wrestling, and we don't respect artists who have, as you mentioned, canonly made this industry what it is. I mean, moving graphics. Do you remember, like, WrestleMania 17? After that, everybody was trying to make moving graphics for their match announcements.
Yeah.
Like, it's promo, like, so many wrestlers have emulated that same promo style, that same vignette style, and yet now they want to set the precedence of, we will heavily rely on shitty slop AI to do a vignette, and not paying art is like, it would be one thing if it was like, okay, like, you're just starting out company, like, maybe you don't have TV deals. No, this is it. Like, this is your number one company. This is $1 billion global company, shareholders, the whole shebang. And that creative decision was made. So I'm gonna forever be fuck AI. as someone who is married to my husband who did our logo. Every time I see our logo, it makes me happy because it is just everything that this show is. It's coast to coast. It is so unique to our brand, and that is my husband's art. My husband is thousands of dollars in debt. However, it is the skill that he has where he can make something like a prompt, or I have a concept, an idea, and he is willing to draft up multiple different variations of ideas that encompass what you're feeling and emotion. Because how many times have you thought like a picture in your brain, or like something that you would love someone else to put into like a song or a dance or whatever, but I don't have those skills to be able to do that, so I have to rely on giving that idea to somebody else to produce. AI is not, you know what I mean? Like AI is not the answer for that.
No.
And it doesn't make me an artist. Like, you know what I mean? Like that doesn't make me the artist. And that's insane. Like that's insane to be like, well, I'm an AI artist. Well, get fucked, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Look, I think when we were talking about it in this form, do I think AI could be useful? Yeah. Obviously, I think it could be. But when you're using it to take the place of, if you look at, I'm not a good artist. I can't draw. I can't, I'm not good at certain things. I am good at certain things, but I'm not good at certain things. If I just use a tool to, like, I can't, I don't know. It's just, it's not, just,
I'm okay for doing things that help a process be fundamentally better. If you are able to do something that helps the process to be faster or more strategic, where you can use your talents in a different way, you know what I mean? Like I'm okay for automation. I just hate that it's going the route of art, because art to me doesn't feel like something that you could just automate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's where I have a problem. The Super Bowl this year, it felt like 75% of the commercials this year were all AI. And it was just like this, some people, not me, because I love football, but like some people watch the Super Bowl just to watch the commercials. That's a thing. Like they're the biggest commercials of the year. They, you got to spend the most money to get, so you have all this stuff. And it felt like 75 to 80% of the commercials this year were unfortunately AI. And that whole part of it, it felt like the commercials kind of sucked.
I will tell you,
because of it. And it was like, this is lame, dude.
The lottery system here in Washington State, their ads have been popping up, and you can look it up, Washington State lottery ads. They've all been AI. That AI bullshit.
Yeah.
And I'll watch like the fingers go from like, only 3 fingers on a hand till all of a sudden they have like 6 fingers on a hand. And I'm like, what the hell is happening? Who created this fucking ad? And who approved this?
Yeah.
And I hate it every time. So that's my soapbox. That's my, hey guys, maybe let's not make art and use AI.
That would be ideal.
I'm sure like a cool new profile picture is fun, and I'm sure you want it to help you do something that maybe you don't have a skill in yet. But there are so many YouTube videos. There's so many self-guiding books. And that was the thing of like when we went to a local place called Bella's Voice, and they have this entire library section. And yeah, like learning a skill that was probably printed in a book from 10 years ago, like kind of sucks. But when you're learning the fundamentals about drawing, about editing, about graphic design, about video editing, I really wanted to pick up one of these books because I would love to learn how to do that. And it's a task that like you have to learn the fundamentals first. And anyone who has any skill knows that, like, you have to learn the fundamentals first. You have to go through the instructions to get a handle on the capacity of the thing that you're doing. And that's why I love, like, a lot of videos, because a lot of those are like 2 minutes long. It's showing you the basics and all the tools that you can use, and then they put it into action, and it's like, okay, all I need to do is practice doing this.
Yeah.
What is a hobby and skill that you have, JPJ?
God, nothing.
Coffee.
Well, yeah, but that's a profession too. But I would consider it a hobby. I would think. I mean,
well, how did you know about Arabica beans? Like, how do you know what a dark roast is and a light roast is?
I had to learn it. I learned about the history of coffee. I learned about, I opened a book about how the company I worked for at the time, where they found their beans, where they did this, where they did that. And it was that. So, like, you had to learn it.
I love watching the world burn, Ryan, but I don't think I would ever succumb editing skills to evil like that.
No, you should not. You should not. That would not make me a happy fellow, seeing that uniform on my screen.
But all that to say, like, I mean, when I was, doing the Coffee Master program, learning that, like, the different soil, do you guys know that the different soil has an impact of how the coffee tastes? Because if you don't have certain soil or certain watering technique, then your crop is not going to be good, just like with food and other things that you consume. So, like, there's a specific coffee bean, and I'm trying to remember, it's like something sea berry. And it's like one of the most expensive. It's like one of the most expensive coffees from Latin America, because the area that they have to grow it in constantly is getting flooded. And they're like regular coffee bean size, but smaller. And the reason why they have to plant it there is because of the volcanic activity.
Yeah.
Which is so crazy that, like, this coffee tastes better because there's a volcano nearby. And the only way that you learn about that and learn that, do you know that Pike Place, their coffee roast for Starbucks, was originally roasted to have cream and sugar? So when people say, oh, I don't like Starbucks drip coffee, it's probably because the roast was meant to have regular white sugar and cream. So if you're putting not cream in it, it doesn't have that full flavor in it. So that's where I learned things, made it my interest to learn. And I don't know, I just, Clown over here saying the Blue Mountain region of Jamaica has coffee that tastes like no other because of its soil that it's grown in.
And so there are not anymore, but there were some stores in Starbucks that were called reserve stores, and they had a special machine. Man. Yeah, right. They had a special machine that you could go there and you could order a cup of hot or iced, whatever, reserve coffees. And they had a special machine that could do that. And one of the most popular, and in my opinion, the best taste in reserve we ever had was Jamaica Blue Mountain coffee. And I would go there. We had one in my area. I would make a trip there at least once a week, and I'd be like, hook me up, bro, with the Jamaica Blue Mountain. I want a medium. I want a grande iced. Thank you. And that's what we're going to do. And so there's a lot of factors that go into coffee. And that is a hobby of mine and stuff like that. But you don't learn, guys, we were just talking about pro sports. Some people are born naturally gifted, but do you think everybody that played in that 76ers and Celtics game last night, they might have been born with some natural athletic gifts, but do you think they just walked onto a basketball court and were good enough to be in the NBA? No, they were not. They played their asses off with good coaches and in systems their whole lives that built them to become an NBA caliber player. And do you think that they don't still practice, or do you think they just got to the NBA and they're like, all right, cool, I made it. I can just kind of go out there and play whenever? No, they practice. They in the off season, they get stronger, they get faster, they get like it. There's no button they can press to be like, all right, I'm just going to have this person go out there and do this for me. You know, like it's in every asset you work, every job you work, there is the reason why it's called work is because there's work behind it. You can't fake shit. So it, you know, unfortunately, the stuff that we're talking about here, it allows some people to fake shit. But
it does.
You know,
and that's why I'm always on the page of I want to see your shitty art. I want to see your first art. Like, I want to see it, and I'd rather see that than AI.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, like you said, it sets a bad precedent. I don't need to be seeing, you know, a bunch. I don't need all my vignettes now in one company to be like just that. It just wasn't. It took me out of what the whole vignette was even about anyway. The whole vignette was supposed to be about, hey, here's Zarya. She got rid of Sol Ruka and she's going to dominate NXT, which she should. She should be the monster in the women's division for the next whatever. That's who she should be. But once I kind of saw what was going on, and that took me out of that whole thing. Like, I didn't care what the vignette said. I didn't care because I was like, that's crap.
Yeah, it just sucks. And it sucks because in my opinion, why would I want to be invested in NXT if they don't even respect artists enough to pay them? So why would I respect them to pay their wrestlers, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Whoa.
Sorry, my
Hell yeah.
My air just kicked on.
Heck yeah. Must be as a warm in there. We're doing liquid hot takes.
Yeah.
Right, we have liquid hot
I know.
takes.
Liquid hot takes. We got volcanic activity in here. So
yeah.
No, it's actually, we didn't even talk about the weather here in the Pacific Northwest. It's been hot as shit. We went from having like torrential downpour every single day, 50 degrees and wet, to Friday it was 72. Yesterday it was 78 degrees.
Wow. All right, that's warm.
So it's just a little warm here. So, but I don't know. It's all interesting. I frankly do not care to hear some people's takes on AI because it's the incorrect one. Because I don't want to be arguing with people online for opinions that I don't care about, you know?
Fair. That's fair enough.
So,
yeah,
I'm trying to spend my time wisely on this here internet, but lots of really great debuts in NXT. Although I did think it was funny because it was that cruel guy that's like the big honker guy, like the big average Joe, came from the crowd.
They played it off that he was what is that, a fan? Is it a fan that just hits a 300-pound guy that just hits a moonsault? Was that a fan? It's a fan that what? Yes, no, it's Will Cruz, guys. It's Will Cruz.
Guys, please do not go to shows.
Yeah, don't do that.
Expecting to participate.
No,
please don't.
No, but yeah, no, that's good. And if you don't know who Will Cruz is, he's good. He's a big boy, but he doesn't wrestle like a big boy.
There's a couple matches because I didn't know that much because obviously he's from the UK wrestling scene.
Yeah.
But YouTube is also a really fun and special place where that's where they post a lot of these matches. And guess what? They're for free dollars. Or even like little segments that they post. Like, hello, why would I not want to, if I want to educate myself, even like Izzy Rain, right? That's her NXT name?
Lizzie Rain. Yep.
Lizzie Rain. Okay.
Yeah. Is it Izzy? No, it's not Izzy. It's Lizzie. Yeah. Lizzie, right?
I don't know. I just typed in Lizzie McGuire, and that's not correct.
Lizzie McGuire. Hell yeah.
Listen.
Yeah, Lizzie Rain with a Y.
Lizzie Rain. LZZ Rain. Okay, cool.
Correct.
Thank you guys. But like, she's only 28 years old, but she's been wrestling since a little bit after the pandemic. But like, looking at some of the videos, her in progress as well, like Rev Pro, I've seen, like, it's just, she has that encompassing, hard-hitting style that we love from Rhea Ripley, just in a different package and a different gimmick and different form that I don't know, I think I'm excited to see her dominate, and like a match with her versus Zarya, like,
yeah,
can that happen soon?
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. Yeah, no, I definitely want to see more of her. I know a lot of people were excited that I respect. I didn't know much about her. Like, that was the first match I've ever seen of her was on NXT. So obviously it wasn't like a long form match or anything like that. But I knew a lot of people excited about the signing. They promoted her debut for a few weeks. Like, they promoted that it was happening for a few weeks in NXT. So it's clear that they are expecting very big things from her in NXT. And so far so good. I thought it was a great debut. I liked the look. Very 80s ish, you know, it looks like, you know, like 80s rocker, you know, hair metal vibe. Awesome. I love the Maiden of Metal nickname because Iron Maiden, the tie-in, she's the niece of the former drummer who passed, you know, like I like it all. I like it all.
Her finishing move is called the Thunderstruck, which is a song by AC/DC.
AC/DC, yeah.
And this week she had mentioned that that knee strike to the head is inspired by Meiko Satomura, which I would love to see her come back to NXT. I know that
she retired, yeah.
I don't think. Oh, maybe she did. She retired in 2025 because I remember hearing about that. But I mean, can't keep him down for long, you know?
No.
Well, Ryan's over here jumping the gun.
We're going to get there, buddy.
Motor City Machine Guns versus the New Day versus FTR versus the Bucks. Can I say, watch it, like, okay. I feel like I worry that sometimes I come across as like I'm only complaining. Yeah. I just want my wrestling to be better. AEW, for me, really stepped up its pussy this week. Sorry, I don't know any other way.
Fair enough. I like it.
I'm so sorry, guys. I just feel like there was something like just starting out Dynamite with Kevin Knight versus MJF. I think has been one of the best TNT matches.
Did you think that MJF was going to win?
I was worried he would win.
Well, yeah, you don't like MJF.
I didn't go into the match. I was like, this will be a no DQ or a DQ finish, not a no DQ. This is like we're too close to Double or Nothing, right? But there was a point, probably like 5 minutes in, that I went, oh, the way that commentary is talking, maybe MJF does take the TNT title and then Kevin Knight has to become a heel to get it back, or something in my brain that I was like, oh, maybe that's what they're going to do here. But I do feel Jordan definitely. Oh, Sorry. Kevin Knight is getting that monster push straight to the top.
I have something to say. Okay, so I agree with you. I thought it was a great opening match. Really, really good. MJF aggressive out the shoot, kind of throws him out, throws him through the steps, the power bomb on the barricade, and he's screaming, "You want to fight with the big guys?" Like he's like talking shit, and like it was really aggressive. But Jordan Dynamite was very good, as it has been for
very good.
a good amount of time now. But I'm intrigued because this is the second match in a row where MJF has tried to go for his usual MJF bullshit, and he's gotten a taste of his own medicine and ended up losing. Because he did the stuff in the Darby. You were there live, but he did the stuff in the Darby match where he distracted the ref and he hit the low blow on Darby first, and then Darby gave him a taste of his own medicine, wins the title, squashes him. This match, they have a proper match, and then towards the end, MJF gets frustrated. He hits a big move. Kevin Knight kicks out. He tries to pin him like 3 times in a row, kicks out every time. MJF gets frustrated, goes to the table, grabs the belt, gets in the ring. Ref grabs the belt, out of the way, distracted. He does the ring gimmick. He's going to hit him with the ring. And what happens? He turns around and Kevin Knight hits him right in the balls. Right in the balls, right, or as Sean Ross Sapp would say, right in the penis. He hits him. And then he doesn't even hit a move after that. He just hits him, puts him down. The ref turns around. 1, 2, 3. MJF loses again. And honestly, I'm very intrigued about where they go with that. And if that maybe forces a small change to the MJF character, because his sleazy, I'm going to win by cheating has backfired. Not only backfired that it didn't work, but he's becoming the recipient of the bullshit the last 2 matches, and it's cost them the matches. So I'm interested in that. And then I know you and I have been talking about Kevin Knight for a long time, as we have, and I've been saying he's going to turn heel and Swerve is going to poison him like he's going to be doing. But now, because Kevin Knight is fighting Darby Allin this Wednesday for the World Heavyweight Championship, they did that kind of, after that match to piss MJF off more. MJF attacked Kevin Knight after the match. Darby came down from the rafters for the save. And he said, hey.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
How many times has he done this? I mean, he did it all in.
Quite often. Yeah, he does it quite often. It's been a handful of times at least.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So he does that. They get MJF out of the ring. And he says, MJF is yelling at him like, give me my belt back. He says, no. Give me my rematch then. Darby says, no. He goes, however, I am a fighting champion. And if I beat Brody King later tonight, I do think next week I found a challenger. And he looks at Kevin Knight and he says, next week, if I get through Brody King, which we'll talk about later, it's you and me. And I actually have turned because I think that Speedball is going to turn now. Because I think that Speedball is going to be pissed that Kevin. Where are Speedball's opportunities? Why is Kevin Knight getting all these opportunities? Now, Kevin Knight won the gauntlet. That was fair. Speedball was in that match. But now all of a sudden, Kevin Knight's getting a world title match against Darby. Why isn't Speedball getting a world title match against Darby? Kevin Knight's getting put in these positions now, and we haven't really, if you're watching Collision, but on Dynamite, we haven't seen Speedball. The last few, we've been seeing Kevin Knight all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking maybe they go the other route and they have Speedball turn out of jealousy. And maybe they go that route. I don't know. I'm intrigued by it all. But
I did also want to mention this week with AEW, I meant to bring this up at the top of the show. Reba.
Oh, yes.
Rebel, formerly known as Reba, took to social media, took to Instagram, and shared a health update because she's been having a lot of health issues. I know that she was diagnosed with leukemia, or a rare form of leukemia. But she came to the internet and said that she's been diagnosed with ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, which we all know is a terminal illness. We are tragically watching we've seen countless celebrities go through it, so it
Mm-hmm.
happens to not just regular people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, um, Jeff Cannonball is currently battling ALS. His wife, Tara Calloway, has written a
Mm-hmm.
second book
Mm-hmm.
called My Friend Lou. I invited Tara on the show, but unfortunately, she couldn't get childcare to talk about her book. So I really would like you guys to go pick up the book,
Mm-hmm.
support Tara, support their family while they have a 2-year-old child and they're watching Jeff, unfortunately, battle with ALS and
Mm-hmm.
everything that comes with it. It is so expensive. Like, just hearing like the repairs that they had to do to their only transportation that they have, that can um, put in the wheelchair that is needed to go to those doctor's appointments, to um, just get everything you need. So please go check out the book. Buy a copy for you, buy a copy for your friends. But definitely want to shout out Tara and Jeff Cannonball and their son. And also sending all of our love over to Rebel, because I saw her at a convention at the end of 2024, and I know that was like right before a lot of her health stuff was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And she's one of the nicest people. She's willing to take a picture with you, talk to you, do anything. And so she's given a lot to the wrestling industry. I just saw it pop up on my YouTube. Um, Rebel versus Io Shirai in
Mm-hmm.
Japan from
Mm-hmm.
a number of years ago. Really great match. I just all of my love. I think I could speak on your behalf that we wish Rebel um, peace during this time and health. And it's so tragic because it's incurable.
Mm-hmm.
But I I don't know. Watching the video just made me like really really sad, because all she's wanting is like a peaceful death, like
Mm-hmm.
being able to like peacefully enter in death, and that just it's terminal illness. And how do you come to terms with the fact that like your own mortality in that
Mm-hmm.
regard? Because for me, I don't know, it's like health is really taken for granted on the youth, and it's not like she's old. She's not even past her prime,
Mm-hmm.
what people would say is the prime of her life. um it just it sucks seeing this happen, and everything. I just want to send that out to her. So
Yeah, it's a terrible disease. And yeah, that video is very sad. It seems like she is at peace in the video, at least, as hard as that probably was for her to make and record and all that stuff. It does seem like, at least, she was smiling the whole video. It seemed like she was in good spirits, for as good spirits you can have with that type of situation.
mhm.
Um, yeah, it's heartbreaking. And I remember, at the beginning of AEW when she was with Britt, she was
Mhm.
hysterical. Like she was so
She made
entertaining,
it. She
and she
truly
helped
did.
make Britt even
Mhm.
more of a, like she was very essential to that rise of Britt Baker, kind of being her henchwoman there, and like just being the comedic fodder and just taking some big bumps and, some funny stuff in and outside the ring. Like, she was very entertaining and she was great. And I've heard other people say, like what you said, like when you meet her, she's a sweetheart. And she was, she is one of the best there. And yeah, all of our love to her. It's sad, but it's a sad situation, but we love her. You saw the outpouring from everybody throughout the wrestling world. Doesn't matter the company or whatever. You saw the outpouring of support and love she was given when
Mhm.
she released this the other day. And yeah, hopefully she finds whatever peace she needs, and she has that peace until, it is what it is, unfortunately,
I also wanted to shout out Clown Mentions. If you don't want the book, there's other merch that you can get, including a badass baseball jersey. I also am putting the link tree in here for Tara Calloway, that has Friends with Lou, the children's book, My Daddy is a Wrestler, and the Jeff Cannonball baseball jersey are the first 3 links in her link tree. The books and the jersey does go to help with the costs of everything going on with their family. There's also, if you just want to donate money to them, you can do the so on there. I would highly suggest doing that. There's also an Amazon wish list that would be so monumentally helpful to their family as well. But I did hear that that Tony Khan is helping financially support Rebel during this time. It is not the first time that he's done this. What they said last night on Collision with Tony Schiavone and Nigel McGuinness, really great words. I don't think that I could say it any better. It just, as someone who is currently going through my own, I mean, all of this, nasal stuff aside, going through even just the process of getting approved to see a GI specialist, because I had a doctor's appointment this week to go over a lot of my test results, and they want to redo a lot of my tests, which sucks. But I have to wait 8 weeks to see a specialist, and that is if my insurance approves a GI specialist, which is insane. Where America is like number one, we're so great. No, none of this is great, and it is so crippling. So any way that you can help what's going on with the Cannonball family, and buying those books, educating yourself, because how do you tell a child, their child is 2 years old, how do you tell a child that your daddy is dying? And it's a disease that impacts your muscles and the way that your body works. It just shuts all of your motor skills off, and it does impact speech. It impacts the way that you walk and think and breathe. So it's really difficult, and I only wish the best for these people, because they're the nicest people I've ever come across in this industry.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's a shame.
So I'm so sorry I didn't mute myself while I
how dare you
did that. But going back to Dynamite this week, one of the best episodes as well, because this Okada versus Ace Austin match.
Good for Ace Austin.
Ace Austin looked sick. Like, he just looked so good. It was a great, I mean, for
great
American
signing.
Crowds. Yeah, for American crowds who don't really know Ace Austin, I mean, him and his thick thighs, like.
Take it easy. I'm kidding.
Listen, I won't drool too bad here.
No, but yeah, when they signed him, a little while ago, I thought, it didn't go under the radar, I would say, but like, it was one of those things where like they signed him and I was like, he's really good.
There's just a lot of things going on.
Yeah, like he probably should have been TNA world champion at some point. Like he was really good. And you see that we're gonna have this match with him and Okada, and it's like, oh, all right. And I thought they did a really good job. We know what we're getting out of Okada is one of the all-time greats, but like they really let Ace Austin shine in this match. They really let him shine, even though we all knew he wasn't winning, but we knew that. But they really gave him a lot of shine, and Okada gave him a lot, and they made him look great. And it was a really, really good showing for Ace Austin. And I think that he is somebody that will be rising the ranks in that men's Raw. Like, he will be going this way for a good while here. He's very good.
I mean, we're just further strengthening the feud between Takeshita and Okada. Do you think Takeshita takes Okada's belt?
I mean, I've been thinking that Takeshita should have won.
Okeshita.
Yeah, I said Okeshita. And maybe if they were a tag team, you could call them Okeshita.
They were. They did not work very well together.
No. I do think that he should. However, being said, I thought that Takeshita should have won the CC, and he didn't. I thought Takeshita should have beaten Jon Moxley for the title, and he didn't. Now, if he didn't do that because you were building to this, okay. But I feel like the last 3 or 4 times that I thought Takeshita should have won something, he hasn't won. And I feel like this is the time that he needs to win that title at Double or Nothing. Because if he doesn't, what the hell are we like? What are we doing? We've been building to this for months now. Like, if he doesn't win, what is the point?
You know, they're really building all of these feuds for Double or Nothing. Double or Nothing is May 24th, y'all. Mm-hmm. So not next week, not the following week, but 3 weeks out, right?
Yeah, we have 3 Dynamites to go before.
So
and this week's is a 3-hour Dynamite.
Yeah,
it's a 3 hours.
Jeez.
Yeah.
We got a long way to go, but we also don't have a lot of time to go. So that's also how I'm viewing my move right now, because we're trying to move out here by the 5th of June.
We got about a month.
It's not a lot of time, guys. Not a lot of time. So
no. Moving's always fun, isn't it? Yeah, moving's always fun.
Yeah.
It's always a fun time. Yeah, I cannot see a way that he doesn't beat Okada. I can't. You got to crown him? No, you got to crown him at some point.
We got to do something with him. I will be right back.
Okay.
Speak to the people.
I will speak to the people. Oh my God, look at this. I don't know where she went. But no, the way that I look at it with Takeshita and Okada is you've been building to this for months and months and months. And I thought the natural build was going to be them in the finals of the Continental Classic. And Okada and Takeshita would beat him for the CC, and that would have been it. But they've moved it a lot forward. And then we've kind of gone, kind of back and forth with it. But I feel like that is the route you should go. And at Double or Nothing, he needs to beat Okada. He needs to beat Okada for that title. He needs to. You can't continue to have Takeshita just not winning matches that, he should be winning. He's maintained being over in spite of the booking, because I feel like he hasn't had the greatest booking, Takeshita. And he's stayed strong throughout it, and he's continued to remain over with the audience throughout, I think, kind of lackluster booking. But you got to crown him, dude, because it's only a certain matter of time, no matter how good he is. And I think arguably he's the best wrestler in the world. There's only so many times that the fans, the people watching, are going to watch somebody lose and lose and lose and lose and lose before they just go, all right, well. And they just don't really have that emotional investment into that person anymore. And I just feel like, I don't feel like we're there yet, clearly, with Takeshita. But if he loses this match to Okada, then, okay, that's another big match in the last 5 months that he's lost. Why would I believe he's going to win a big match the next time it happens? You know what I mean? Like, why would I believe that at all? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. Hopefully everything's all right. I don't know what happened or how long she's going to be out of here. But I enjoyed that little thing that they did there. I enjoyed the backstage thing that we got with Andrade and MJF that happened, where Andrade was kind of laughing. Takeshita and Darby would be fun. And the way that Darby's going, There you go. Exactly. Yeah. The MJF Andrade thing was a lot of fun in the back. That was a lot of fun. Do I feel any wiser that I circled the earth another year? Wiser, I would say no. I would say I feel achier. I feel older. Not like significantly older, but physically. But no, not wiser. He's back.
Sorry about that.
They're back. Yeah, you good?
Yeah. I'm good.
All right. Rock and roll.
No details.
All right. Fair enough. But yeah, no, we finished what we were talking about Takeshita still and how much he kind of needs to win at Double or Nothing. And then we started to transition over to the Andrade MJF backstage segment we were talking about a little bit that happened that I thought was very funny with Andrade just laughing at MJF repeat. How do you know? How do you know? How do you know?
I would love to see. So I love Andrade. I love a confident Andrade.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want you all to tell me it's because he's hot, he's sexy, blah, blah. A confident man is a confident man. But I love Don Callis behind Andrade because there's a sort of cockiness to it, but it's backed up with actual talent. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, there's been lots of mouthpieces and I'm like, fuck this guy. But it just seems to be this is well worth the investment.
100%. 100%. And now he's, spoiler alert, now he's IWGP champion, so he's going to be even more confident. We're going to see an even more confident Andrade because he's got some gold around his waist.
BDE, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I like what they're doing with Andrade. I like how he's still in the Callis family, but he's like not on board with everything the Callis family's doing, but in a funny way. I thought Don Callis was hilarious in this segment when he was just kind of like, wild horses, huh? And he just kind of looked at Renee, he goes, wild horses, you know? Yeah. And he just kind of, and Renee was even like, yeah, you know, I thought it was really good. And I think if you're foreshadowing me you give me Andrade and MJF again, like, yeah, I'm cool with that. If you want to do that route, it felt like we were going to eventually get that before. But yeah, I'm all in on it. And now that he's IWGP Forbidden Door, if he's IWGP champion, you could set up a bunch of cool matches. Does he fight an AEW guy for that belt, or does he fight somebody from New Japan? There's a lot of ways they can go.
Yep. So Forbidden Door was announced for June 28th. So this is the next pay-per-view after Double or Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Forbidden Door is going to be in San Jose, California at the SAP Center. SAP Center.
SAP Center.
Which is funny. It is so funny to me because SAP, guys, that's a company that I use at my job.
Fair enough.
That is software that we use to pay people and receive payments.
There we go.
It's weird. Every company has used this database, so it's just so weird to be like SAP Center, or I thought it was SAP Center. I was like SAP Center.
I believe, Clown said it in the chat. The people call it. It's known as the Shark Tank. That's what people call it because the San Jose Sharks play there. So
that's so clever.
Yeah. So they call it the Shark Tank.
Is that why there's sharks in the promo picture?
I would assume, yeah.
The promo, the promotional is so funny, but they have advertised AEW, Ring of Honor, New Japan, CMLL, and Stardom.
Mm-hmm. That's nice.
Is it too early to fantasy book this?
I wouldn't say it's never too early. I think it'll be, as we get closer to Double or Nothing and we know what the whole Double or Nothing card is, I think the fantasy booking will become more like, okay, so what do we think is going to happen at Double or Nothing? All right, cool. And then at Forbidden, but I don't think it's ever too early to fantasy book, ever.
Do you think that we'll see Andrade hold the IWGP belt and fight?
I think so.
Tsuji?
That would be a great rematch to have. Now, Tsuji has been very vocal about how much he does not like AEW. So that you could add that into there too. Yeah. I mean, I think that would be a good thing to do. I don't know New Japan's schedule. I don't know if they have any other major shows between now and Forbidden Door. I assume they do.
Mm-hmm.
But I would think that Andrade holding on to that and maybe losing it at Forbidden Door to a New Japan guy to win it back for New Japan. Or, that would be a good little spot. And that would be kind of AEW going, hey, New Japan, like, yeah, we'll give you the, like, we'll do this. We'll have you go over and get your world title back. If we're leaning towards an MJF and Andrade program, which we've been teasing for a while, could MJF win the IWGP heavyweight title? If
For
there's
those
no world title plans?
If we were going to do any AEW debuts of any of this released talent, which I'm assuming a lot of them have 90-day clauses.
Mm-hmm.
90 days from today is August 1st. However, this show is June 28th.
So that first batch last week, you would think would be right around, because I think Dexter Loomis made a vignette with Indy Hartwell, and the date was June 27th. He put on the date. So that tells me that list that we got last week, that should be about 90 days to the day.
Motor City Machine Guns.
Yes. So Motor City Machine Guns, Kaylee Ray, maybe. The names that we got yesterday, even though it was a much shorter list, it was only 4 names we got yesterday. Those will not be available for Forbidden Door. But All In is the very next month. And if you want to give me the Young Bucks versus the New Day at All In, Collins, you give me the Young Bucks versus the New Day at All In.
So if we want to talk about the Young Bucks versus the New Day, for those who remember the tweet, for those who remember how the Young Bucks used to just try to fantasy book themselves, the Young Bucks put in their bio, one day we'll wrestle FTR and everyone will rejoice. Remember this bio. And then we see one day we'll wrestle the New Day and everyone will rejoice. Remember this bio. Because the FTR one happened. Which, if you don't remember when FTR, right? When they were in WWE, they dominated NXT. But the moment that they came to the main roster, remember, Vince wanted to put them in jesters' costumes and make them the butt of the joke.
They were. You don't remember the Usos things with them in the shower when they were putting on
in the shower.
What was it, like an icy hot substance of sorts or something like that? It was some like funny knockoff. Like, it wasn't funny, but like the Usos were playing pranks on them and shit and doing whatever. Listen, the Revival won both the Raw and SmackDown tag titles multiple times. So like they were never
taken seriously.
What we saw yesterday just goes to prove, like, WWE doesn't really give a shit about tag team wrestling. So, yes, they were multiple-time tag team champions on both shows, and they were considered one of the top tag teams in WWE at the time. But, yeah, they were shaving each other's backs in showers and doing all sorts of, they're not there for that. They're as old school a tag team as there is. They want to get in the ring, and they want to have great matches, and they want to beat the shit out of people.
No flips, just fists, right?
Correct.
Y'all remember this?
Correct.
And that was a huge proponent in their initial feud with the Young Bucks, because the Young Bucks are all flips and fists. But if we're talking about the best tag team in the world, I think they're in AEW.
Agreed. I agree wholeheartedly. Listen, we talked about it last week that not everybody that gets released should automatically just, oh, well, they're going to go to AEW, they're going to go there. But first of all, completely shocking when you hear that. Because and let's not gloss over Tungaloa and Jeff Cobb, JC Mateo were also
my personal friend,
yes,
Jeff Cobb.
We're also let go. How you fuck up Jeff Cobb, I have no idea. Maybe make him fourth fiddle in a group that nobody cares about is probably the way to do it.
You put him in a company where they emphasize big guys who look good, do big guy shit that destroy things.
Yeah.
Jeff Cobb can do that, and he can talk on a mic. Like, I do not understand.
Yeah. Very bizarre. Just, I understand putting him with that group, but you made him literally, he was like the fourth most important guy in a group that nobody really cares about the group. And Jeff Cobb is insanely good. He's been insanely good everywhere he's ever been. He's just great at it all. He's the total package. He's strong. He's fast. He's agile. He can talk. He's charismatic. He's everything you want. He's somebody that I also, if I were he's been in AEW for crying out loud. If I'm them, I'm giving him a phone call immediately. Hey, we'll take you when we can take you if you're interested. Cool.
90 days.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be all in.
Yeah. So you have that. And then we get the news a little bit right after them that Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, the New Day, the greatest tag team of all time, as WWE repeatedly has said over the years, mutually parted ways with WWE. So everyone's like, what? New Day, they've been there for so long. Like Kofi's been there for 20 years. Kofi had been there for 20 years. Then the New Day, and just in general, obviously we know the Big E story, but these guys are in the teens of tag team champions. Like I said, on every best tag team of all time list that WWE has produced over the last 10 years, the New Day has been number one on every single list.
Not only that, merch.
Yeah.
Do you remember the
unicorns?
Booty-O's cereal sold out in a matter of minutes?
Yeah. Yeah. Kofi Mania?
Gosh.
Kofi Mania?
Cried. Actual tears.
I was there. I was at WrestleMania 35 when he won the title. Kofi's a Boston guy. He was in Chaotic Wrestling. He's a Boston guy. Like, but like you had that Kofi Mania. You had all this stuff. Like if there were ever going to be, like you mentioned it earlier, if there were ever going to be, I was there as well, King Dave, when they did the big Mania entrance with the big cereal box. That was at 32 in Dallas. If there were ever going to be lifers in WWE, you would think the New Day, especially Kofi, but the New Day would be as close to lifers as you could get. They just felt like they were just always going to be there. They gave him that heel turn and did nothing with it. They just been kind of doing whatever. And then the story comes out a little bit later that it's like they were still under contract. It wasn't like their contracts were up. They were asked by TKO to restructure their contract, and they got a really poor offer. So poor that they decided to just ask for their release. And then they were just given their release,
they had just re-signed
last year.
Correct. And the deal was good until 2030.
Correct. And TKO, again, billion-dollar profits, biggest profits of all time, all this. They want to go to these two guys a year after they sign them to a deal and go, oh, hey, you make too much money. You need to take less. And then from the reports, I'm not in the room, I don't know. But from the reports, it felt like at least they listened to what the offer was. And then the offer was so piss poor that they didn't even negotiate. They just said, hey, we're out of here. We want our release. And then this is where I don't know, and maybe details will come out if they already haven't. I don't know. But if I'm anybody in WWE, anybody, and I hear that the New Day asked for their release, I'm calling whoever's in charge. I'm going, hey, wait a minute. We need to talk this through. No. But the fact that they were asked their release and granted it, that is insane to me. That is crazy.
And those who remember that they came out as like what was going to be like a revivalist church, right? They got a choir,
like gospel, yeah.
Gospel. Everybody knows New Day rocks. Or like you recognize Big E's entrance. And they are so synonymous with the WWE brand. Kofi's spot, right, is so synonymous with the Royal Rumble, where he always does a spot. He didn't do it this year. Remember during the Rumble, everyone was like, oh my God, Kofi Kingston's not here to do the Kofi spot where you think he's going to be out. And then he finds a chair. He finds a barrier. He has to find his way back into the ring. Whether or not he wins the Rumble, we don't care. We love to see the Kofi spot. We love to see what the New Day is going to bring because they got handed like, here's your tag team. Xavier Woods coming from TNA. Big E coming from NXT, OVW, right? Kofi Kingston was in NXT. Like, they are just given this and expected to work with it. And they're one of the best tag teams, if not the only tag team that I would see as legitimate in WWE.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we got a big super chat here, so thank you for that. We have a big
super chat. I do want to say thank you so much. Gotham Guy, thank you so much for $20 super chat. I'm sure Tony already had a storyline in place as far as tag team championship and matches for All In. With the releases of Motor City Machine Guns and the New Day, is it best to pivot to have them in All In for a big moment or wait till after? I think your wrestling storylines have to be fluid in order to survive this business. I think that Tony has learned firsthand how injuries can like if you are completely riding on a wrestler and they get injured, what happens? You have to have plans. You have to have wiggle room. Because when Adam Cole got hurt, we knew that there was a huge hole in their storytelling because we all knew that Adam Cole, baby, was supposed to be AEW champion.
Yep.
And that period of time was a little dark for me because that Devil storyline, which was really great, didn't get to be played out. And I think that was the first time for me that I felt like, oh, wow, they really didn't have any backup plan here.
Yep.
Now, granted, it's not the end of the world. Like, after all of is said and done, in hindsight, but I think that Tony has had to learn how to make plan B, plan C, a mixture of plan C and A. You know what I mean? Like, he's had to do it that way. Yep, and 100%. If you've ever written a story, a short story, a long story, any sort of storyline, you always start with the ending first.
Yep.
When you're trying to brainstorm it out. So if my ending plan is this, how do we get there along the way that makes sense? So your journey to get there. And sometimes you can have version 2.0 or version 3.0 or 3.5 where you do introduce Motor City Machine Guns in the New Day.
Mm-hmm.
And you need AEW All In at Wembley Stadium to be that place. This isn't just a 3,000, 7,000, 10,000 seater.
No.
You need to sell that out.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
You need to make it an event that you can't miss.
Correct. And listen, man, and like these guys have been going at each other. You mentioned the Young Bucks tweet or whatever, or bio, but these guys have been going at each other on social media for a decade. The Kenny Omega, Xavier Woods video game stuff.
Oh my God.
All that stuff. Like they've been going at each other for a long time. So the thought about these two guys, like these two teams, and even throwing Kenny versus Woods one-on-one if you wanted to do like the thought of those type of things is not something like it's a dream match, yes, but it's something that like it's not only a dream match for us fans, it's a dream match for those guys. Like they both know, like, you know, the Bucks put that bio for a reason. You know what I mean? Like the New Day would feed into that and they would take shots and they would, you know, Omega and Woods would go at each other all the time on Twitter about video game stuff. And then they would turn it into wrestling stuff and stuff like that. So like, this is not just a dream match for us fans. This is a dream match for those guys involved in it too. So like, again, if you're Tony Khan, you would be doing business malpractice, not calling Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. Obviously, they won't be able to be the New Day, duh. But you bring those guys into your company, you're talking merch, you're talking name value, you're talking everything, even outside of the wrestling matches we all want to see. You, and Scott said it in the chat, you will be printing money.
Yeah.
Printing. If you bring those guys into AEW. And I just think that it is an absolute no-brainer. Not saying they would want to go. You know, it's still their choice to go, and I think they would. But, like, it would be insane if we did not see them showing up. Not as in, this was something I never thought we'd see. I never in a million years would I have thought we would wake up or have news that the New Day was leaving WWE. That is crazy.
Well, don't you dare be sour.
Clap
for your world famous. They are 12-time tag team champions.
Yeah, them and the Usos, one of the great rivalries in tag team history in WWE. I still remember when Vince made, because he was against the Kofi Mania as an on-screen guy, and he made Big E and Woods go through a tag team gauntlet on SmackDown, and they had to win it so Kofi could get thrown into the Elimination Chamber or something like that, or whatever. They had to get thrown into a match. And I remember the Usos, this long rivalry, and they came out and they forfeited. And they said, hey, man, we've battled each other, blah, 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 but we respect you. This one's for Kofi. I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. We forfeit. We forfeit.
So
and
all
I was
of
just
that
like, oh,
happened because Mustafa Ali was getting the push of a lifetime. And I was at the SmackDown taping where he got injured by Jeff Hardy, I want to say. But he was going to be out of the Elimination Chamber. And that's also the thing where you have to pivot where the iron is hot, right? Strike while the iron is hot.
Yeah.
And WWE is notorious for not striking while the iron is hot. And I think at this time, you had the Planet's champion. You had Daniel Bryan being that dickish heel, yelling at everyone for not being vegan. They needed a hero to cheer. And in comes Kofi Kingston. Honestly, losing Kofi Kingston and the connection that he had with the fans, I believe that connection was forgotten.
Big time.
With this new batch of fans. How do you gain that back? You switch it up. You figure out something new. And not to say Xavier Woods came back from an Achilles tendon tear.
Terrible injury. One of the worst you can get.
Terrible injury. Career-ending injury for a lot of people.
Almost ended Athena's career as well.
Correct.
When she was Ember Moon over there.
And it took him a while to come back. But I also want to mention the New Day. Also, this is also one of the first tag team iterations of people who, like, I understand that people making gear and making it stylized like a specific thing is common, especially like video game characters or superheroes. The first time I ever saw it done on that big of a wrestling stage was the New Day. And they came out dressed like Dragon Ball Z characters. And Xavier Woods has those weird ass fucking shoes.
Yeah.
And I just, that makes something for me because I love Dragon Ball Z. Obviously, I have a Krillin tattoo. Like, Krillin is my first love. Okay?
And, obviously, there are people that are probably better to speak about it than you or I. But Willow Nightingale spoke on it, and she said without the New Day, there wouldn't be my whimsical black characters who had fun. Those haven't always existed in wrestling.
Correct.
And New Day at the time they were these happy guys. They were dancing. They were doing the trumpet. The outfits, like you said, they presented a side of things that you didn't see. And for, again, like, I'm a fucking middle-aged white guy, all right? But for young black kids and young black wrestling fans, and that, again, like, you can hear Willow Nightingale talk about it. The Grapsity guys talked about it yesterday. Like, those perspectives are much more important about that side of it than mine. But still, like, it mattered. And they were the first, you didn't see a lot of that. And they were just fun. They were funny, but they were fun, and they were good in the ring, and they had everything you wanted, and they showed their personalities. And Big E was this big, lovable goof, and Woods was kind of the more serious of the three, but he was also goofy. And then Kofi was the veteran that just kind of tied it all together. Like, they're an all-time group in every aspect. And obviously the Big E stuff, that's, sad in its own right with the injury, and his career was cut short. He's still doing great stuff though with the other stuff that he does for WWE. But I'm sure he's feeling a certain way. He still works there, and now his two boys
that they thought was we're going to be there and at least 2030,
Yeah. Yeah, and Big E, and Jordan, you're right. Big E was so ridiculous. He was the most ridiculous, but that's why we loved him, because he was the most ridiculous, sticking his tongue out, humping,
putting pancakes in his fucking drawers.
Yeah, pancakes and eating them and licking shit. Like, it was just. I remember when they won the tag titles for the first time. Big E just had his arms out, and he has a huge smile, and he's just running in circles around I think it was at a SummerSlam. He's just running in circles around the ring for like 30 seconds, just like high stepping and shit. It was like, this is fucking awesome. And it was just, I still can't believe it. And I know Big E, he doesn't wrestle anymore, and he's still technically, but like, this is the end of the New Day. Like, the New Day is done with this. Like, there's no more New Day anymore. And it's sad, really. It's sad because, like, it's just crazy. It is crazy.
Gotham Guy, thank you again for your $5 super chat here, on top of everything. But good point about the New Day merch. Also, it would bring in a younger audience demographic for ticket sales at weekly events. And tickets are not $5. They are well priced. The tickets that I bought for Dynamite when it was here in Seattle, but it was actually Everett. We bought for $38. $38.
That's very nice. Yeah, that's very good.
Right? And we were in the 100 level. They had like a bulk price because I bought many tickets together, but they were all $38 a piece. There's about $10 in service fees, but having all these tickets less than $50. The only downside was I paid $11 for that foot-long glizzy that I dropped.
Foot long. Did you see? I believe it was your Seattle Mariners. They were honoring Randy Johnson.
My guy Randy Johnson.
Yeah, and they had a 51-foot hot dog for like $35. You could get like a 51, maybe a 51-inch. I think it was a 51-inch. But it was this, you could get a 51-inch. I swear to God, I think it might have been the Diamondbacks with Randy. It was Randy Johnson. Maybe it was the Diamond. I don't know. But you just type in MLB 51-inch hot. I swear, I thought it was Seattle.
51-inch hot dog.
I thought it was Seattle. I thought it was.
It was at Seattle.
Yes.
It was this weekend.
Yes, I saw that on Twitter. I saw it on Twitter yesterday, and I was like, holy shit. I showed all my friends when we were out for the B-Day. I was like, hey, it was $37 or $40 for the hot dog. But it was 51 inches.
Imagine trying to sit at your seat with that.
I would be pissed because there's no way. If you're in that row, you're fucked until he eats that whole thing. The Mariners retired his number last night. That's what they did. They retired Randy's number. Good for him. Much deserved.
Good for him.
Dominant. What a one guy that in the 90s and early when he was
anytime he played, pitch up against him.
No, when he was on the mound, he was just a mean looking bastard. He was like 7 feet tall, threw 100 miles an hour. Back when everybody throws 100 miles per hour now. Mm-hmm. Back then, not everybody threw like that. And he was scary. He was scary.
I mean, everybody remembers the fact that he killed a bird.
I've actually seen him talk about it. He goes, I got 3,000 strikeouts. I've won 300 games. I've won multiple World Series. I'm a Hall of Famer. I'm all this. And he goes, and most people, they remember me hitting a bird.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I'm one of the greatest. He didn't say that, but he's easily one of the greatest pitchers of all time. Like top 10, 12, whatever you want to do. He's up there. And he's most remembered by the majority of people from killing a bird in a spring training game.
I just could not believe, because he was traded in the 1998 season,
yes,
which was a fantastic season. But like, it wasn't like he was not at his prime. Like, that was like, he retired in 2009. That is 1998. Like, he still had gas in that tank. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I still don't know why to this day, because I don't think it paid off very well. But because he went to the Astros, and then the Diamondbacks picked him up the next year. Mm-hmm. And then he was a motherfucking New York Yankee.
That was at the end, though. He wasn't good anymore. When he was
I know. He wasn't throwing 100 miles an hour.
No, but he was dominant for the Diamondbacks. Well, on that run with the Astros, he helped them make the playoffs, and then he was dominant for the Diamondbacks, and they had him and Schilling, and they beat the Yankees in that 2001 World Series. But they were great.
Fuck Schilling. Sorry, I have to say it. Fuck that guy.
Yeah,
sorry.
There's certain aspects about him that are not the greatest, but he helped my team break a curse, so he's always going to have a certain soft spot for me. But yes, he not a great guy. Not a great guy. Almost literally took the state of Rhode Island to bankruptcy over a video game.
Over a fucking video game.
Yes. Literally, the whole state went bankrupt because of him. But
y'all can Google it, by the way.
Yeah. Listen, not a great individual. But with that being said, absolutely a Hall of Fame baseball player. He should be in the Hall of Fame, Curt Schilling. It's ridiculous that he's not.
His time in the Diamondbacks really did like make him attractive to Boston, and knowing that like he played guys with a fucking broken ankle, bloody sock and all,
restructured his tendons in his ankle so he could pitch, because they were like, you're gonna miss the whole rest of the playoffs, like your shit's broken. And then one weirdo doctor was like, well, I might be able to take those tendons and put them over these and like graft it together so it'll hurt, but you can pitch. And Schilling was like, I will openly shorten my career for this moment, because this is why they brought me here, was to win this shit. Do it. And he did it. And we won the World Series. And his career, he was never the same after that. He was good for the next couple years after, but he was never the Curt Schilling he was before that. And he did that to win a World Series, which is crazy.
I mean, I think also the other thing that I don't like him for is telling Tim Wakefield's business, because Tim Wakefield, also former Red Sox pitcher, was dying of cancer, and they didn't want the public to know.
Yep.
Because I'm pretty sure it was like really fast acting. They didn't they didn't want.
Yeah, and his wife
Mm-hmm.
was also sick. With his wife either died shortly before him or shortly after him, because of a sickness as well. So they had been through a lot, the family.
Mm-hmm.
And Wakefield, first of all, iconic Red Sox of all time,
guy.
like just great dude, just everything you would want in a baseball player. And really, for a knuckleball specialist pitcher, one of the longest 200 wins, most wins in the history of the Red Sox franchise. He gave up the Aaron Boone home run, and then the very next year he was so essential to them coming back in that Yankees series down 3-0 by just eating innings. So so everyone could it was just great player, great guy. And he was dying very quickly, and the family didn't want it out, and people that were close to him knew the family didn't want it out, and Curt Schilling fucking didn't care and went on a podcast and just fucking said it like a piece of shit. And then, thank you, Greg. We have to we gotta hook up again and get the recording down. I'm gonna go on Greg's show. This was my birthday week. It ended up being a bad week. We couldn't make it work, but we gotta.
You know what? You're in demand. You're in demand.
That's what they say.
I love to you there, Greg Cherry. But yeah, fucking crazy ass shit. All this to say, love Randy Johnson. I'm really sad that I've missed a 41 incher.
51.
51. Why did I say 41?
I think everyone could probably use. Everyone could probably use the 51 incher. But geez Louise, like you can't bring that back to your seat. You can't bring that. No. If you bring that back to your seat, you're an asshole.
Yeah, a complete dick.
Unbelievable.
Lots of really cool things going on in wrestling as we gear up going towards Double or Nothing. Can
we talk about this main event on Dynamite? Because Darby Allin 2 weeks in a row here. Darby Allin.
Okay.
Darby Allin 2 weeks in a row here, shutting a lot of people up. Another terrific main event match. This one with Brody King. The Ciampa match, I think, was a better wrestling match. This was more of the car crash Darby style, but it was like it wasn't like the ones that we were getting sick and tired of a month ago. This was like a more elevated car crash Darby match, if I can phrase it that way, for lack of better terms. This match ruled. I love Brody King. I know we all do. I would have loved Brody King to shockingly win, but I knew he wasn't going to. But a second straight week, another really, really great main event from Darby. And he's going to have another one this Wednesday with Kevin Knight. And I know there's people like Mike that are like, I can never get used to Darby being champion. If Darby's going to give me a month of this, I don't care. I don't care. Because this is what's going to happen. Darby's going to do this week after week after week, and then he's going to end up losing the title because he's going to be so beaten down from being a fighting champion. And that's going to be the angle. Because I don't expect this to be a long title reign. I would bet he loses it at Double or Nothing.
Well, I think just like Darby's career, I think we're going at breakneck speeds towards the finish line. I don't think that Darby is going to be holding this title much long, if at all, after Double or Nothing. I think we're getting in all the matches that we need to be getting in. And if anything, he's going to lose, in my opinion, at Double or Nothing with just as much fire in that car crash as he did when he won it.
100%. 100%. I don't really know, though, because he's been defending the title every week. I don't really know what the match. I mean, my gut still says rematch with Max is the match.
Yeah, same.
But I'm not like 100% sold on that. That's where I'm leaning. But how can Max get a rematch when he's lost his last two matches?
Well, he's Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
That's fair. But like, could it be a multi-man match?
It could be.
You know what I mean? Like like I said, if I'm picking the main event right now, my gut is telling me it's a rematch with Max and Darby. But like, I'm also like, oh, what direction are they going? Because the match isn't really mapped out for Darby right now at Double or Nothing. There's been a couple matches announced. We can kind of see where they're going in other aspects. But when it comes to Darby, it's like, where are they actually going? Because we have 3 weeks now to get him a world title match, which you assume will be the main event of the show. Yeah, but where's Kenny been, though?
Kenny has not been here.
So, again, that would be a match I would be for sure. But Kenny needs to show up this week then, because we only got 3 weeks.
It's true.
So, you know, and that is true, Scott. Darby did say that MJF has to put something up to get his rematch. So maybe MJF cracks over the next couple weeks and maybe he does the stip that Hangman did. I'll never challenge the world title if I lose to you. But MJF actually wins it. Maybe. I don't know.
That would be really cool. I would like that. And I like a gimmick. I like when it matters.
Yes, I agree. But I just wanted to shout out Darby because, again, I was skeptical about the world title on Darby, as a lot of people were. But listen,
same.
2 weeks in, if you're, like I said, if you're gonna just be doing this and you're gonna make Darby this type of champion, where he's just having these incredible matches, I mean, it's shutting me up real quick. I feel like, at least. So.
But needless to say, I think anyone saying that Brody King is not a main eventer,
nuts.
That's insane.
Nuts. I had yeah.
Because what do you mean? What do you mean he's been in the main event multiple times? What do you mean you have whole fuck ice chance? Is he not the face of the fuck ice chance? Is he not the face of the fans? Is he not the face of that guy that represents us? He cares. He shows up for his friends.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you could look at it. He squashed MJF a couple months ago. Then he had a world title match, which he lost, but he had a world title match with MJF right after that. He fought Swerve at a pay-per-view. Like, he's been fighting main event guys for months now.
Yeah.
And he just had his second world title opportunity in a match on Wednesday. He lost again, but he's fought for the world title twice in the span of the last 3 or 4 months. He's fought in Swerve. Like, he's a main event guy. He is in the shuffle. Is he going to win the world title anytime soon? Probably not. Maybe later this year, maybe. I don't think he's probably in the plans until after All In, if he does have plans. But, like, to think that that guy's not in the main event scene, you're not watching the show.
Right. We're not watching the same show.
No, you're just not. So I don't know. That argument is kind of baffling to me. Would I like to see him win a world title sooner than later? Yeah, for sure. But, you know, Gotham guy's saying, but if the end game is Kenny versus Will at All In, what do you do? I don't think that's the end game. I think the end game is Will Ospreay versus MJF.
With MJF, yeah.
At All In. And Will Ospreay wins the title in front of his home people against the bad guy, piece of crap MJF. I think that's what the end game is. So I think Ospreay wins the Owen, and that's how you get to that. And MJF gets the title back from Darby, and that's what you do. That's at least how I view it. I don't know. Ospreay and Kenny would be great. Don't get me wrong. Duh.
Right.
But
I think we'll get that.
Yeah. But I think it's Ospreay and MJF at All In. That's what I think. So
would be great.
Who knows?
Any final thoughts for wrestling this week?
No, I mean the news of the week. Like, I thought Raw was pretty solid this week too. Like, I thought WWE did some all right stuff on their shows. NXT, like we talked about at the beginning, was a lot of fun. SmackDown still continues to be just a terrible slog of a show. But there were pretty decent things last night. I thought the Ricky Saints debut was a little up and down.
I mean, against his friend Cody Rhodes.
I know. Look, it's a good spot to be fighting Cody on your debut. Like, that's a great spot. You know, so like, but you know, I thought the promo was good at times, but not as strong as you would expect from Ricky. He lost the match to Cody. I don't think that's a big deal at all. Like, what's it going to beat Cody?
Right.
Like, come on now. I don't think that's a big deal at all. But yeah, no, I thought SmackDown was good. Blake Monroe, the JC Jane stuff. That's where I say that SmackDown continues to be a slog of a show because the gingerbread man stuff, which I didn't hate it either. Like, I find the humor in it. I'm a wrestling fan that doesn't take it too seriously because it's fucking wrestling. But it was now it's a 3-hour show. Luckily, it's going back to 2 hours. Bless. Soon God. For the rest of the year, which I think will make it a much better show to watch. But it was like over 30 minutes dealing with the gingerbread man, which was like, okay, this is funny, but like, does it have to take up a third of your show? Or like, a fourth of the show? Like, can we not, But yeah, I thought, again, SmackDown has been a tough watch, I feel like. Just because of the length, and it just feels like there's a lot of filler and there's a lot of, but there's some stuff I like. I do like the Danhausen, Kit Wilson, and Miz shit. I think that is all hilarious. I love Kit Wilson. I love Kit Wilson. The Miz is kind of the perfect guy, like the perfect veteran who doesn't take himself too seriously, that will do goofy shit. And like, he just kind of fits. And the Danhausen has just been a home run knock out of the park since he's been there. So, yeah, but I think we nailed all the big stuff. Obviously, unfortunately, again, a second week in a row where departures have kind of dominated the wrestling news cycle for the week. And this, the New Day in particular, it's the biggest names we've heard get released in a long, long time. A long, long time. So crazy.
Well, I don't know, guys, just be kind to each other. It's not that serious. There's no need to dox people either for just having different wrestling opinions.
Yeah, I've seen, and I know you posted a video. I haven't done anything of that, but there has been a lot of discourse over the last week and a half, 2 weeks about wrestling content creation. Guys, this is not complicated shit. We are two people, and everybody else that does their stuff, we are just people who are afforded an opportunity to come on different outlets, some of us throughout the week, and talk about how we feel about wrestling. It's not that fucking serious. It's not life and death. We're just talking about pro wrestling. And you're allowed to disagree with what we feel or what we might think is great or not think is great. You're allowed to disagree, but getting angry and saying insults and, what the fuck is that? What is that? Like, it's pro wrestling, guys. We're not, and at the end of the day, I saw a couple videos and you spoke to it on one of yours. Like, this shit is fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
Like, it's not serious, dude. Like, I do my show. I'm lucky to be here with you on Sundays. I do beards. I do a couple other things throughout the week. And I'm lucky that I get to do it with cool people that I like doing cool stuff with. But like, if I wasn't having fun, I wouldn't do it. I would take my 2.5 hours on Sunday afternoons and go do something else. I'd take my Thursday nights and go do something else.
Yeah.
But it's fun. And if you want to disagree, that's fine. You can not be an asshole and disagree with me.
And it's fine to have the opinion of like, you know what? Like, I don't think that you do anything different. There's not, like, you can have that opinion about us or me or what have you. And I know that plenty of people made that comment to me, that they don't know why, I have a platform or that I'm able to speak on wrestling or whatever. It's not that deep. And if you want to do it, you should just do it. If you want to do wrestling content creation, pick up your phone, start doing it. Find the niche that you want to do and do it. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's not hard, because it is hard. It is very difficult and awkward to provide a wrestling opinion and make it digestible in a way that doesn't make you sound like you're just the old man screaming at the clouds, because sometimes I feel like I get that way a little bit too much.
That's what I am from time to time. So like, it is what it is. But my other bearded brother Pluggo, before he started doing on-screen stuff, he used to record 15-minute podcasts in his friggin' car. You do what you do, man. If you want to do it, just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it. That's all.
Just do it. Because I think, I mean, I started on the radio, guys. I started as a production assistant for my college radio station. And I worked maybe 4 to 5 hours per week. And I thought, wow, this is really hard. This is really difficult. And it is. I'm not saying it's not hard. Could I be doing more shows? Sure. But oh my God, I want it to be fun and I don't want to be burnt out. And I never want anyone to feel burnt out or like it isn't fun. It is fun. And I appreciate that y'all show up every week and you make me one of the stupidest, happiest persons on the internet. And I love talking with you, JPJ. It's a lot of fun.
Likewise, I have a lot of fun doing this show and chatting with you, and it was something that we had talked about since the first time we were kind of on screen together. We were like, oh, that was
we
fun.
Got that
like,
organic
we had a good vibe.
Chem,
like we should probably try to do something. And it's like, yeah, you'll see most weeks there's a lot of laughter that happens on this show. There's a lot of laughter.
Yeah. Sorry, my energy levels for today was
no. This was another great, But like, we have a lot of fun doing this show, and I think it comes across, and that's why we have a great group of people that show up every Sunday for us. And it's just, I don't know, it's very odd to me because like we all like this crazy thing called pro wrestling, and we're a very niche, small group. Even though there's millions of us, it's a very niche, small group of people that are wrestling fans. In the community of wrestling fans, when you see another wrestling fan out in the wild, you feel a connection to them immediately because, hey, you like that thing that I like? Cool. And we just have that connection with each other. And then I see so much bullshit. And it's like, bro, like, it's okay to not like what I like. My favorite wrestler might not be your favorite wrestler. That's cool. And your favorite wrestler might be somebody I think stinks. Who gives a shit? But we're all wrestling fans in this niche, in this small community. Like the vitriol and some of the stuff I see, I'm like, I don't understand.
I don't get
like,
it.
We're the odd ones that like pro wrestling. Like, you know what I mean? Like we're the kind of the funky bunch that likes pro wrestling. Why are we fighting? Why are we fighting with each other because you don't like one segment that I thought was cool? Like it's dumb. It's dumb. So,
and I do want to shout out a lot of female content creators and a lot of queer creators, not discounting you, JPJ, but also people that are non-white making content creators. Some of the things y'all send us in the DMs are insane. So please don't do that. So I don't want to harp too much on that, but I give mad props to the minorities of the wrestling content creation game, because there are things that I don't post online, or if I go quiet, it's because I'm dealing with some but I really truly believe in being yourself and being unapologetically authentic and transparent. So it's the only way I know how to be. Unfortunately, it's about my mental illness. I can't pretend. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to lie.
What was the accent you put? What was the accent you just put on that?
I don't know. Don't address it.
Okay. I liked it. I liked it. That's why I'm asking. I liked it. But anyway.
Well, JPJ, where can we find you on this here internet?
You can find me, JPJ Loves Gaming, all social media platforms. I also have a Twitch that I play some video games a few days a week, 3 or 4 days a week I try, and stuff like that. But you can obviously hear every Sunday, Fightful Overbooked for Coast to Coast with this lovely person that I get to do this with. Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, over on Love Wrestling, Between Two Beards with Pluggo and myself. And then I do some post AEW and post Raw stuff on Body Slam Net. With Corey Hayes, who was actually the guy that broke the New Day news yesterday, Corey Hayes.
Fantastic.
So that's where you can find me. I'm kind of all around. I try to do as much as I can in my free time because that's just who I am. So,
and you can find me anywhere there's social media _queer Auntie. I have been limiting myself because I'm trying to use a lot of my free time to pack. It doesn't look like I've done much, but I've done a lot. And I appreciate your patience. Hopefully by mid-June, I will be moved into our new house and everything will be great. And I can stream a little bit more. But this is Fightful Overbooked. Please like, share, subscribe. Check out our other shows here on Fightful Overbooked, In the Weeds, Jeremy Lambert, SP3, and Joel Pearl. Trading off and on. They were really talking about a lot of these NXT things going on, and I'm sure next week they're going to talk about what we've been talking about. You can also coexist with Rob and Maggie. I think that they went on early this week, which is kind of cuckoo crazy. So be sure to keep that notification bell on if you want to watch all these shows. Support us. We want to talk about things that you want to watch, and we want to talk with you here on the chat. So I thank you guys for showing up each week, especially when I have not been feeling my 100% self. We love you. Be kind. Don't say anything that we wouldn't. And go Red Sox.
I mean, yeah, but they are trash. Everybody that said happy birthday to me yesterday, I appreciate you all. That meant a lot. Thank you for reaching out, whether it was on, any social media, but I appreciate everybody with the birthday wishes yesterday. And yeah, do everything that she just said. Don't be a jerk.
Don't be a jerk. All right. Love you guys. Bye.
Peace.